to the end zone. They win! Ball game! Chiefs to the championship game! I'm glad I got an opportunity to watch this game, but I thought Mahomes outplayed him yesterday.
Josh Allen going to be our generation's Phillip Rivers.
Only guy in the playoffs who's never had an awesome playoff game.
His style of play doesn't work. But what about rushing yards? I'll care about them when the win column cares about them.
Have you looked at his postseason numbers? They don't exist.
Having one playoff win over the course of your career. Have you heard that? Did it motivate you? What's that?
You know I hate that.
And this leads us to today. Two of the most scrutinized players in the NFL meet in potentially a legacy-defining game. Lamar Jackson versus Josh Allen in the divisional round is going to be crazy. But what exactly does this mean for both of these players, both of these teams, and how exactly are these two quarterbacks going to get a win for their team? Since finding success early in both of their careers, the expectation since year 1 or 2 for both of these players was to lead their teams to Super Bowls and get the job done in the big games. But so far in their careers, other else than a couple playoff games here and there, that really hasn't happened for them. They've had to get over the hump of each other. Josh Allen beating Lamar Jackson in the divisional round a couple years ago. But another hump that they've had to get through is, of course, the Kansas City Chiefs, which is an obstacle that they might have to go through. But first, let's talk about which one of these teams is going to have a better chance to control the game and defeat the other. Let's start with the Baltimore Ravens. This team is loaded on both sides of the ball, but there's certainly weaknesses. The wide receiver core has not been great this year, struggling with drops, and in spite of that, Lamar Jackson's still been able to put up incredible numbers and lead his team to this point. But outside of Lamar and Zay Flowers, there's still Derrick Henry, who's having one of the best years of his career at the age of 31. As for the defense, on paper, one of the best defenses in the league. Haven't quite been able to put it together in terms of the pass defense, which I think could be a problem for them. But they showed up last week against a struggling Steelers team, which they took advantage of that and got a huge win there. And we'll see if they're able to do it again against Josh Allen's Bills, who are in this position in the playoffs once again with another opportunity to beat the Ravens in the divisional round and get to the AFC Championship, getting one step closer to the Super Bowl. But as for the Bills, Josh Allen's going to have to put the cape on, similar to Lamar Jackson, if he wants his team to win. The rushing attack has looked a lot better, probably one of the best rushing attacks in Josh Allen's career that he's ever had. But the defense is banged up and the receiving core is still questionable outside of the two elite tight ends. Both of these teams have subpar receiving cores in comparison to the rest of the teams in the playoffs. And at the end of the day, it's going to be up to the quarterbacks to put the cape on and get a victory for their teams. Before the playoffs started, I predicted this matchup to go down in the divisional round, and I ended up picking the Bills to get the victory. But after that convincing win for the Ravens over the Steelers, I think it's a lot closer than it was back then. I always have faith in both of these quarterbacks. I think Josh Allen tends to turn it up a notch in the playoffs, which we still need to see out of Lamar Jackson. But going back to what this could potentially mean for the quarterbacks in this matchup, winning this game gives these teams another shot at that AFC title game, a game that neither of these teams have been able to conquer over the past few years. Most likely it's going to be up against the Chiefs, and that will be an even more hyped up game because of how important it is for the legacies of all these quarterbacks. The guys still in it in the AFC that all have the potential to win the Super Bowl this year. Of course, Stroud and Mahomes have their own things to prove. That's a topic for another video. But Jackson and Josh Allen are finally looking to break through for that Super Bowl victory that they've been waiting for so long. And this looks like it's the opportunity for one of them to make that happen for their careers. I can't understate how big this game is for Lamar and Josh Allen, getting another chance to make a deep run into the playoffs. But outside of the quarterbacks, this is still going to be a great game from a coaching standpoint. Harbaugh versus McDermott is going to be great. Both defenses are going to have to look to control the quarterbacks and the rushing attacks of both teams. The offenses, we're just going to see which one's more explosive, which one's able to attack the other defense. And I think this is by far the biggest divisional round matchup. And whoever wins this one has another chance to make a run at the Super Bowl. This divisional round matchup is going to be great. So much to prove for both of these quarterbacks. All their past failures can be put behind them now because in front of them is a chance to correct every mistake that's happened over the past few years and give themselves another shot to conquer the Kansas City Chiefs or whoever the AFC has to throw at them. But that's going to do it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did enjoy, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you all in the next video.